one of my dearest friends, Sheree Whitfield. Yes! Come on, Bone Collector. Of course, when I learned that Sheree Whitfield was coming back again on The Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14, y'all know I had to call my girl and say, look, honey, I need you and I to kiki it up on the podcast. And without even thinking, Sheree said yes immediately. Because low-key, some of these other girls haven't texted me back yet. But we'll get to that later.
What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with a Real Housewives of Atlanta extra, honey. We got Mr. Carlos King. He gets to weighing in on season 14 with Sheree Whitfield. And Carlos had some interesting things to say about NENE leaks. Bravo, Andy, and the lawsuit that is going on between them, honey. Okay? So without further ado, honey, I'm going to continue to play that audio with Sheree and Carlos, honey. And Miss Robinson will be in and out with her commentary.
The backstory of me and Sheree. As you all know, I was a producer starting season 1 of Atlanta Housewives. I was an associate producer. So when you are an associate producer, you're assigned housewives. So season 1, I was assigned NENE and Deshaun Snow. And another producer had Sheree. I would watch Sheree's scenes and be like, this bitch is so fucking fabulous. She is everything. And I was like, I want to play with Sheree too. And your producer named Corey was like, no bitch, she's mine.
I love it. And Corey and I are still friends to this day too. Still friends. Yep.
Yes, Corey is a sweetheart. He's a good guy. Corey was like, Carlos, you got NENE and Deshaun Snow. I got Sheree. And I was like, I want a piece of that action. So then season 2, I was still there. Sorry, Corey. And then me and Sheree became.
You are crazy. I never knew this story. I love it.
Me and Corey was fighting over Sheree.
Shut up.
And I was just like, she's everything.
Aww.
I knew you were that girl the first week of filming at your birthday party.
I got the party started, didn't I?
I mean, you're the reason for the season, mama. I mean, you're the reason why we got a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th episode. Because Sheree had a party and NENE Leak's name was not on the list. And I never asked you this question.
What's the question?
Sheree, it has been 14 years, and bitch, I need to know. Did you purposely leave NENE's name off the list?
Yes, she did, honey. I will answer for her. I always thought that was shady as hell, honey. Okay?
Listen, it was my birthday party. NENE and I had not been in a good space. We had been fighting before that. So we were good before, and it's so crazy that when we get ready to do the show, we kind of had a falling out because she got mad at me because I couldn't get her into a party. Well, bitch, I didn't get you into 1,000 parties, but I can't get you into this party. So she got mad at me. And so that was a falling out of us because we were good before that. So when the show starts, I'm feeling the tension, and because we had a meeting, and it got really bad between NENE and I in this restaurant. We were at, Clubhouse at Lenox Mall. It got really bad. Like, she and I almost got into an altercation at a restaurant. And I'm like, what the hell? So this is my birthday party. I called one of my girlfriends who was also a producer or whatever. And I'm telling her, because they're wanting me to invite her into my home. And she's like, and I'm like, this is my home. I don't want no bad energy. I don't want no bad, none of that. So I don't want to really invite her because we're not friends right now. We're not getting along. And she was like, well, shit, it's your home. I understand what you're saying. I wouldn't bring no bad energy in there either. So the guest list was what it was.
We got the exclusive.
That is the first time I have really, people don't really ask me that. They just talk about, that she wasn't on the list. The people on the list were the people on the list. Those are the people who were supposed to get in. Don't let nobody in who is not on my list.
14 years, not one person has ever Sheree that question. I always suspected that, and this is the reason why I wanted to bring it up. Sheree is the reason episode 1 got started. And I always felt, not because we're friends, I always felt that people underestimate you and that you don't get the props you deserve for being part of the reason the Atlanta Housewives is successful. They love to give it to NENE, and listen, NENE's great, and she's an icon, and she's great too. They love to give it to Kim Zolciak, and Kim is great too. Every once in a while, they'll say her name or not. It bothers me, real talk. Do you feel like you don't get enough credit for what Atlanta Housewives is today? Absolutely. I totally feel that. I think that,
Girl, Sheree. Miss Robinson I gotta interrupt, sis. You downplay yourself, Sheree. Look at what you just said on one of the episodes. Okay, you just said that you are not going to have a fashion show. You are going to have a fashion presentation. You are dating Mr. Martell First Floor Holt. Okay, that then lied and cheated on his wife all throughout these years, honey, that had all these children with him. Like, girl, you shoot your own self in the foot, Sheree. Ain't nobody clapping for that. Part of the reason why people love NENE is because NENE keeps it 100. NENE had Greg on her arm, okay, her loving, doting husband for, 20 plus years of marriage, honey. Okay, like, people love what's real, what they can relate to. And Sheree always came off stuffy, cold, and disingenuous. I'm just saying, Sheree, you did it to yourself with some of the decisions you make and the way you move. Okay, like you play it small. What do you guys think? Please put your comments in the comment section.
People feel like you said, that it's the NENEs and the Kims, maybe because they're a little more loud about it. But, I mean, let's be clear. I have probably more iconic moments than a lot of them, probably put together. Should we name some?
Oh, no, I'll name them. Who Gonna Check Me, Boo? My Joggers is coming out spring, summer.
That wasn't one, Carlos. Like, and even with her saying that the Joggers is coming out spring, summer, we still didn't get the damn Joggers. We still didn't get She by Sheree. Okay, who has a fashion show with no fashion? Shout out to Dwight.
Twirl on the motherfucking baseboards, bitch. I mean, I didn't floor her wig. I shifted it a little bit.
Yeah, just a little shift.
The bitch better get to running. I'm glad you fixed those doggy teeth. Yes, I'm glad you fixed those doggy teeth. Thank you. No, listen. I know that you are an icon, a wordsmith, and I do agree with you. Just because you're not like the loudest person in the room, baby, when Sheree walks into a room, a force is behind her.
Aww.
It always bothered me because I look at your legacy. You are really responsible for a lot of great moments, and that's why when I left the show and you left the show, and they were like, Carlos, can you come back to season 8? And I was like, oh, I got all this other stuff going on. And then I was like, if I come back, me and Sheree got to do this again. Mm-hmm. Because I just felt like y'all just don't give this woman enough credit for what she's done. And you and I came back together at the same damn time, and baby, you and Kenya on that rooftop party at Cynthia, where you almost gave her a little cocktail dress, meaning the cocktail being spilled on the dress, honey.
Yes.
I mean, I think you're such a big icon, but tell me about your legacy on the show and how you feel that, like you said, like you are truly one of the main reasons, and I'll go on record saying this, and I don't care who gets mad because this is no shade. NENE, Kim, and Sheree are the reasons why Atlanta Housewives is the #1 show on Bravo.
I agree. Absolutely. We started this, and I mean, we didn't have a blueprint. We didn't know what we were getting into. And a lot of things have changed. But back then, we were authentic. We didn't know any better. We didn't know to make up shit. We're thinking this is our real lives. We signed up to do a reality show, and we're going to be as real as we possibly be, you know?
Yeah.
You know what? When they actually reached back out to me this time, I talked about the fact that everybody, because when I'm not on the show, I don't watch the show. But everybody who have watched the show, of course, they come to me and they tell me different things. And a lot of the things that they were saying is that it's too much fighting. The girls aren't friends. It's not authentic. The girls are, they're producing themselves. Now, you can produce yourself in a good way, but it's when it's so obvious to the fans that you're, pretending to bring in this person and this, you're dating this, all these different things, it doesn't work. And people don't want to see that. It needs to get back to what it was, where it was authentic, where this is our real lives, completely transparent. And it's so funny when I hear people say, oh, she's been transparent. Bitch, I've always been transparent. I'm probably one of the few who've always been transparent. Let's be clear. I talked about stuff on this show that no one, even though they may be going through some things, don't want to talk about. And it's shit that's not so pretty, but I talked about it and I discussed it. And the one thing that I love, that I'm able to, that I do that, it's because I get so many emails or so many messages saying from people saying, I can relate to that. I was going through something similar. I'm talking about child support. I'm talking about divorce. I'm talking about even dating, to this day, this season, dating someone in prison. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. So it's a lot of things that, I went through in my personal life that I was open with sharing real shit. And I feel like a lot of these girls, they kind of changed the narrative and it just didn't work.
No, it doesn't. And it's funny because when you look at other housewife shows, and listen, this is no shade to Drew Sidora. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does season 14. But a lot of it to me is when these new girls come on the Housewives, they're coming on the stage that you built. Mm-hmm. You're a fucking construction worker. And what's interesting is you haven't shied away from talking about your issues. Mm-hmm. Like you said, dating somebody in prison, dealing with divorce, dealing with what it's like when you get a divorce and you have to figure out okay, I have to step it up as a single mom. I have to really be the sole provider for my children. I remember working with you and there were other people on the cast who were not being real. Mm-hmm. And one thing I always appreciate about you is the fact that you were real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because a lot of these girls, as you and I both know, they like to promote their businesses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They like to throw an event to show how fabulous they are. But when you ask them well, we're hearing this is happening. That's off limits. We're not talking about that. That's off limits. So going into season 14, which debuts May 1st, what can you tell us about this season? Do you see a transformation? Because a lot of us stopped watching last season because it wasn't interesting. Mm-hmm. Because the girls were producing themselves and the girls weren't talking about real stuff. As you came back this season, have you seen a change in some of these women being more authentic?
I mean, yeah, I think some of the girls have been definitely authentic this season. They're, sharing their real stories. And also one thing is that it's almost like a sisterhood this season. We've never had that, Carlos. When we leave set, we're like, bye, bitch, deuces. We don't talk, we don't hang out.
At all.
No. So this season is different, and they are telling their stories.
Let's talk about Marlo. Mm-hmm. Marlo is a peach holder.
Marlo is carrying the motherfucking show this season. I said it. Without Marlo, wouldn't be no show. It really wouldn't. Y'all can hate her all y'all want to, but she is carrying this shit on her back. Come on, Marlo.
Peach holder.
You are a legend and obviously an OG. So what do you think of Marlo being a peach holder, and how has Marlo been this season?
Marlo has been fabulous. She's been great. She's one of the ones who's definitely been very authentic, very transparent with, everything that she's going through. And I love that about her. So she's going to give you shade, and she's also going to give you funny. And I think that her getting this peach, which everybody always said, oh, Marlo's never getting a peach. These girls have petitioned against her. Some of the ones she thinks were her friends petitioned against her not to get a peach. So she got her peach, and it's well deserved. Well deserved. I mean, it was 10 years, 11 years, 10 or 11 years, and she's proven herself.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I've been around the girls. It's not easy being a friend to the show because when you are a peach holder, the peach holders would throw shade at a friend to the show.
Yes.
They will call you Peachless. They will say you've been impeached. They will say, I'm not giving you nothing. You're not a housewife. Like, Sheree, let's talk about it, bitch. Like, let the girls know when you are a friend to the show, these girls don't respect you the same.
They do not. And we had a similar situation this season with one of my friends that came onto the show. And, yeah, I did not appreciate or like how she was treated on there.
They hazed her?
Well, just one person in particular.
A peach holder?
Yeah.
And how did she navigate through that? Was she able to, defend herself?
No, that's the thing. You're not able to defend yourself because, either they can't tape anymore. So the peach holder is able to go into her interviews and, kind of read the shit out of somebody, even in scenes, and you don't get to defend yourself. And that's not fair. And
who is that? Fatum? Okay, who said that? That was that raggedy ass Fatum. Fatum was out of line doing all of that to Drew, trying to expose her, honey. But I do want to know, do her and Ralph have all them aliases? Okay, we got to talk about it since y'all done already put it out there. I'm just saying.
All she wanted to do was defend herself, but didn't happen. Couldn't happen.
And that's why Marlo's peach is so well deserved because, girl, Marlo's been hanging on for a long time.
She's like, bitch, one day.
But look, I heard Marlo is reading the girls down. Marlo, but she always say, I don't know how to read. So I just hit below the belt. Now that bitch is good at hitting below the belt. Carlos, in some of those scenes, I'm sitting here like, oh my God. Like, I don't know what to do, what to say. It gets ugly. Now that was one thing. It does. And that was one thing back in the day. Like, even though, NENE and I didn't get along or whatever, I still knew a lot of information about her. And still to this day, I still do. We never hit below the belt like
girl. Bye, Sheree. Because at the reunion, you brought up something. What was that? The season 4 reunion? You brought up shoplifting. Whose son shoplift? My son ain't in this. He ain't got nothing to do with this. You remember that between Sheree and NENE? So, Sheree, what else do you know about Queen Leaks, honey? I want to know.
That you know what? We never did that. These girls are going so low. They going for the juggler. They cutting to the white meat.
So wait, is it Marlo in addition to other women on the show?
I mean, but if somebody cut you to the white meat, ain't you gonna try to cut back?
I heard that Marlo has a hard on for KANDI, that she is reading KANDI for filth.
She definitely read KANDI. But listen, KANDI came back. They were both. I was surprised. They both started hitting so below the belt. And I'm sitting in the middle, Carlos. I'm like, I couldn't do anything. First of all, I was entertained like fuck. I felt like I was a viewer right in that moment. I'm like, what the fuck?
Sheree, girl, I saw you laughing. Sheree is Team Marlo because she already knows, honey, okay? Marlo destroyed KANDI.
It got so ugly, so low. I can't even imagine what they're going to cut out because there was so much shit being said. So much shit below the belt, yes.
Are you collecting any bones this season, or are you too busy laughing at these beefs that's happening?
I'm not really the bone collector this season. I'm pretty good with pretty much everybody. I'm good with everybody.
I want to thank you for inviting me to Shiva Sheree. I'm not going to give anything away. I'm not going to say a word. All I'm going to say is you called me. I only will ever show up for you.
Oh, my gosh. Now you're trying to make me cry.
It's the truth.
You're going to make me cry now. Let me tell you, that meant so much to me for you to take time out of your schedule. I know you got so much going on. I know everybody's always pulling at you. Everybody wants Carlos King to come to show up. Carlos, you showed up in a big way when it mattered, and that's the most important thing ever. And that meant the world to me. And I need to tell you that if I haven't already. I love you. I appreciate that. You flew here. It was bitches here that I thought that should have been there. And I was really, really bothered by that. Because I had been, I don't want to say no names, but somebody who was there from season 1 as well. And they were there from the beginning. Like, I thought it was so important that the people that I really cared about that saw this from the beginning to be there and support me, because I supported all these bitches throughout these years. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So for me to finally get it, and I'm talking to this one particular person and they're like, we're coming, you know, and did not show up. Have not called, have not said a word. And that was really hurtful. That was really, really hurtful. You can guess if you want, but I'm not telling you.
It's okay.
I wonder who she talking about. Really quickly, guys, I'm really liking Carlos and Sheree's energy together, honey. They see each other. I really like how comfortable she feels with him, and I adore how much, you know, they adore each other after all these years, honey. It's good to have them type of working relationships, honey.
Lisa was... No,
not Lisa. And it wasn't Lisa. I love Lisa down. Lisa was in L.A. for Super Bowl with her son. It wasn't Lisa.
Lisa Wu made an appearance this upcoming season. We see her in the super trailer.
Yep. That is my boo.
What is Lisa Wu up to with you, Sheree?
You know, that's my girl. That's my girl. Me and Lisa, we still ride. We still hang out. We still kiki, have a good old time together. So I was having something at my house, and of course I wanted to invite my girlfriend. So Lisa came in and did what Lisa did.
Did Lisa Wu read somebody?
Who did she read, you guys? Put it in the comments. Who was it? Was it Sonya? It seemed like she began like cussing somebody out the blue. She was drunker than a mother.
Did what Lisa does. She said, put some respect on my name.
Wait a minute. Lisa Wu made a comeback this season because of you, obviously, because you two are real friends in real life. Y'all hang out all the time.
Yeah.
No cameras. Y'all are real friends.
Yeah.
So did someone try to stunt on Lisa Wu and she checked them?
Yeah. Lisa Wu had to check them. She had to check a bitch. She came back looking amazing and she like, don't play with me. You already know. You talk about our fight. That's Lisa Wu.
Lisa Wu will kick ass.
She sure will.
Ooh, so wait, is Lisa Wu on more than one scene? Is there multiple scenes with Lisa Wu? Is there one and done? Can you not tell me? What's tea?
You know, I can't tell you.
Ooh.
I can't tell you.
How are you and Kim Zolciak right now?
We're good. No, I'll say it was actually Kim. You're right. And I really, really felt like, because I've been talking to her, and she's like, oh, my gosh, I know this is so important to you. Now, this is the thing.
Child, Sheree, I got to stop. I know some of y'all rolling your eyes, sucking y'all damn teeth. But are we really shocked that Kim Zolciak was not there for Sheree? All that taking up that you did for her throughout the year, Sheree? Okay, y'all know that, what was that? Season 10 when Sheree was on here, she was Team Zolciak. And Kim, you couldn't be there to see the She by Sheree presentation. You couldn't be there for her. Shame on you, Kim.
When I'm not on Housewives, I'm like you. I get invited to a lot of these events. And a lot of times, most times I don't go. But when it's something that matters, that, you know, I don't care, because, you know, these girls want to get paid. I showed up to Cynthia's wedding because it mattered. Those are the things that are important to me, that I know that are important to you. And it's bigger than, okay, what can I get for showing up? Because I feel like you're my friend. So I'm going to do this for my friend. And I felt like she should have showed up for me.
Oh, 100%. You showed up to KANDI's wedding.
Yeah.
Without getting paid. you show up to a lot of Kim Zolciak had a spinoff, Don't Be Tardy.
Yeah.
You showed up to her cosmetics launch without getting paid because that shows real friendship.
Yeah.
So it is disappointing to hear that Kim did not show up because what you and I both know is this. When a housewife leaves a show and let's say next year, the year after that, whatever, a real friend asks them to come to their event, 10 times out of 10, a housewife would try to negotiate money to come back because she feels like, well, y'all going to use my appearance as promo. Mm-hmm. But the difference between you and that situation is if someone's your real friend, you didn't care. Right. Like, I produced KANDI's wedding special, and you showed up, showed out. You even taped a scene with Ms. Lawrence without getting a check because for you, it wasn't about making money. It was about I'm supporting my friend KANDI. Right. So that's disappointing to hear.
Very disappointing. If anybody I thought would be there, I thought Kim would be there. I did.
Especially because a lot of people have seen how you had Kim's back throughout the years. So much so, a lot of people have said, oh, Sheree, you're on the wrong side of the team because you ride for Kim, because you two are friends and she rides for you too. What do you say to people who feel like the reasons why you came and you left is because they felt like you were on the quote-unquote wrong team and that team would be Kim?
That's even more disappointing that, if I'm supporting, I've always been supportive of the people that I really mess with. I've even supported those that I did not mess with. But for people to think that I was on the wrong team, first of all, I'm Team Sheree. I have people that I mess with, and that's the type of person that I am, though, because until I see that you've done me wrong or you've done things to me, I don't care what you did to other people. It's how you treat me, and that's what I go by. So me being friends with Kim and riding for Kim, that was my loyalty. That's how I am. I'm a Capricorn. I am loyal to the bone, So it's kind of messed up because people really did get mad at me for really messing with Kim and, really having her back.
But honey, KANDI Burruss had to learn the hard way too, because she tried to come in season 2 and, give Kim a song, honey, and Kim wanted NENE off the song, and KANDI was all for it, and until, Kim stole all that money, honey, allegedly stole all that money from the party, honey. Okay, yeah, Kim act like she couldn't give KANDI her coins for that song. Okay, I think they did another song together too. Oh, yeah. So, Sheree, you saw how Kim burned KANDI and NENE, and you sitting up here talking about, well, I'll wait, until she get to me. No, you got to pay attention to how people do their friends. Okay, and shout out to Melody Ho. Why you talking about you a Capricorn? Martell is a Capricorn too. And I heard, honey, he did his friends, all types of dirty, honey, before he even did it to Melody. And Melody was like, honey, I wish I would have paid attention to that. Okay. So y'all got to pay attention to how people treat their other friends, because they will try to do you like that too.
But that's the kind of friend I would want for me as well. I would want them to do the same for me.
I mean, that's the reason why you and I in real life are friends, because you are loyal. I'm like you. I'm loyal. You know me. I'm the type of person who's like, what's good? If you need me, I'm here. I don't ask for nothing. And I will go on record saying you operate in the same way. I had a birthday this year. Sheree flew to where I live and surprised me at my birthday dinner. I had no idea she was showing up. I'm literally in the back. You know me, I'm cool. I got my spaghetti and my meatballs, and I'm chilling. And Sheree walked in to surprise me, and when I say to you, I gagged, like, you flew here to see me? She was like, yeah, bitch, you're my boy. And that's who I want y'all to know Sheree is. She has the heart of gold. And what I always tell people is the nicest people on Housewives to me have always been the ones y'all consider to be the villain. Mm-hmm. It's Kenya and Sheree. And you can attest to this, like, Kenya's cool as shit. Like, Kenya...
I love Kenya this season. We never got to get to this point because we were always battling over these houses. But I love Kenya. When Kenya's in a good space, she's fun. I love her. I love her.
Child, all that heifer do is make up excuses, honey, and lies. And she been tardy for the party, honey, all season long, honey. I'm not with Kenya. I started out this season like, okay, I'm going to kind of clean Kenya's slate a little bit. I tried, you guys, and then, she was back with her foolishness, honey. Okay.
Speaking of love, I know that you love Greg Leakes, may he rest in peace, and that no matter what you ladies have gone through in the past, y'all do support each other. And I know that when he passed, obviously you, myself, a lot of people reached out to NENE to offer condolences. Have you seen her recently around Atlanta? Do you guys stay in touch? How is your relationship with her right now?
We don't really have a relationship, but we have a mutual respect for each other. When Greg passed, I mean, even before when he was sick, I think I reached out to her, and then when I heard he passed, of course, I was devastated that I could not make it to his service. I had COVID for the second time. I had literally just contracted it, and so of course I couldn't go. But yeah, Greg was an amazing man. He was a really good man, and I knew them for a very long time. So I reached out to NENE, of course, and I, offered my condolences and, anything I can do to help. But I have not seen her, but I see and hear that she's living her best life, and I'm happy for her.
Yes. No, she is, honey. One of the things a lot of people have been asking about is a show with just the OGs.
Oh, I think that would be amazing.
So let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. If you had to choose between your current season 14 cast and doing a show with the OGs, which is you, NENE, Kim, Deshaun Snow, and Lisa Wu, which cast would Sheree Whitfield like to be a part of?
Oh my gosh. I would say there's no comparison to season 1. You can't even compare. You can't even... That's like apples and damn watermelons or some shit. There's no comparison. That season 1 cast, I mean, we came in, we gave everything, and we didn't care how we looked or how we, how things came across. We just knew to be authentic and real.
KANDI did an interview recently and said that this season is better, and that Portia and Cynthia weren't a part of this season, and that no shade to them, this is her words, not mine. She said no shade to them, that this season was much better than when they were on. Is that something you would agree with?
When I wasn't on the show, I did not watch it. So I will say that this season is really good, especially coming off of what the debacle of last year. The ratings were horrendous. Mm-hmm. But this, like I said earlier, this season is more like a sisterhood. Like we're actually...
Child, ain't no damn sisterhood. Kenya won't even talk to Marlo. Marlo and KANDI been into it, okay? And Marlo been talking a lot of stuff about KANDI. Like, and you have too, Sheree. So, like, where is the sisterhood, okay?
Getting together outside of the show. We talk on the phone, some of the girls. We text. We have group texts that we continue. Sometimes you have those group texts, but they stop as soon as the season ends. We're literally have a genuine and trying to actually build something with some of these girls.
That's good. And so what are your thoughts on the new girl, Sanya?
Oh, I love Sanya. She's really sweet. She's really sweet. I like her a lot.
Is she a good addition to this cast?
I think she's a good addition. I think she brings, sometimes the voice of reason. She started out kind of quiet, but she grew into her voice.
Season 9 was an epic season. But obviously, that was the last season PHAEDRA was on. Mm-hmm. And there's been tons of talks about whether or not she should come back. Do you think PHAEDRA should come back to the show?
Absolutely. I actually brought her name up as well when they reached out to me in the beginning.
And what?
Come on, Sheree. Now Miss Robinson like you again, because I want PHAEDRA back on there too.
They say.
Let me guess. I think they interested, but
Let me ask you this. I'm curious, and it's funny. It just came to my head. Let's just say what it is, because she went on record saying this. Kandi said that she doesn't want Phaedra on the show while she's on because of what happened season 9. And that if Bravo wants Phaedra on, then that's fine. She'll bow out gracefully. You've been on the show with people you don't get along with, people where you guys both threw shade and all this other stuff. Now, granted, what Phaedra did allegedly is obviously worse than anything you guys have experienced.
Right.
But with that being said, do you think it's fair that one person may have that much control on someone coming back on the show?
No, I don't. And I actually invited Phaedra to the fashion show too. And one of the things she said, she's like, well, is Kandi going to be there? My thing is, like you said, I've been on this show many times, many years with people I did not get along with. I have been in situations that I was uncomfortable with. I have talked about heavy things that I have gone on in my life. We are here to do a reality show. And as much as I love Kandi, I feel like at the end of the day, they should, or she should understand that this is for the show. We can't be, I don't want to talk about that. It's not cool. So we can't do it. It's for the betterment of the show.
Come on, Sheree. Okay, y'all know normally I'm not here for Sheree, but she is speaking a word, honey. Okay?
We all have been in uncomfortable and talked about shit that we don't want to talk about.
That's right.
I think that conversation needs to be had on the show.
Exactly, honey. I second that. All right, y'all. So now let's check out what Carlos King has to say about the NENE leaks lawsuit. Okay, let's check that out.
Is it like, holy shit, I can be famous and my life could change overnight now?
It's hard. I got to be honest with you. Again, on other reality shows, yes. We have to admit, The Housewives is a different beast. It is the reality shows of all reality shows. I personally believe it's hard to find, well, let me say this. It's hard in Atlanta because two things, and this is from personal experience. The women in Atlanta, the real rich ones who have a unique friendship with the ladies, they don't want to be a part of that show. They're like, nope, it's not my brand. I don't want to fight anybody. Unfortunately, that's what they think about Atlanta. I think the franchise who does it right is Beverly Hills. I think Garcelle was a great addition to the show.
Yes, she is. I love Garcelle, honey, on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Let me tell y'all real quick, because I've been watching. Oh, yeah, Miss Robinson been watching some of it. I can't stand damn Erica Jane. I can't stand that narcissistic Lisa Rinna. Oh, my gosh. Ugh. Lisa is just so low, honey. And what is Lisa's storyline, honey? She another third party storyline person like a Giselle or Kenya she even lower than them though, honey, because what be the storyline, okay? Because when I watched the reunion, Andy asked Lisa about who her daughter was dating. That ain't got nothing to do with Lisa. That's her damn daughter. I guess her daughter used to be with Scott Disick. And like they had nothing to talk to Lisa Rinna about. I'm Team Sutton. I'm Team Garcelle. Who else do Miss Robinson like? I guess the little Asian lady, she's okay. Yeah, but yeah, I don't. Oh, Erica is just so nasty and so rude and just I gotta think of the other ones, you guys.
Because she had a 20-year friendship with Lisa Rinna, and at the time Denise Richards was on the show, they also had a 20-year friendship. That's when it makes sense. I feel like Beverly Hills does the best job at finding new women who are organically connected, which is why that show, to me, is having its best seasons ever because of that reason alone. And I think the other franchise is harder because I think those women like Jen Shaw, for example, who I love on Salt Lake City. I think we all can admit that Jen Shaw has studied the book of Teresa Giudice, NENE Leakes, and the other queen bees of the franchises and said, well, I'm going to be that on this show. And there's moments when you watch her, you're like, you're trying to be instead of just being.
Oh, and really quickly, I don't really care for Dorit no more. I always thought she was real pretty, but she take too long to get to the damn point. Who else? Who else is on Miss Robinson's list? Because there was another one. Brandy Glanville, I think she should come back. I think she would be good for the show. Denise was my girl. Now, do y'all believe that Denise and Brandy didn't fool around? Brandy said it's true, but I don't know. Denise is still denying it. Garcelle believes Denise, I guess. Okay, but yeah, Lisa Rinna, honey, you've known Garcelle for how long? And then when she came on that show, you treated her like that, like an outsider. Okay, Garcelle felt like the girls, just... I don't know. I think she felt like they weren't welcoming, especially Lisa Rinna, who, was her friend for all them years. Now, I remember Lisa, honey, when she used to play on Days of Our Lives as Billy. Oh, yeah. And Billy broke up Bo and Hope. Everybody knows Miss Robinson loves her some Bo and Hope from Days of Our Lives. How y'all doing, honey? Okay. The original Bo and Hope, not the fake people that they got. Kyle, she plays both sides, like at first I like Kyle, but yeah, I don't know what the hell Kyle be doing, honey. She be buzzing around like a damn mosquito. Okay, but I'm Team Garcelle and Sutton, honey, all right?
And is like too happy to be there. And I guess you want someone that's happy. I mean, everyone's happy to be there, but there's a difference between like a NENE, like you say, who blows up overnight and it has changed your life, but yet you're really living your life and it's never like fame.
No, it is. And it's funny because on my podcast, I had Sheree Whitfield on, and I asked her, if you had to choose with the new season that you're on with these women and the OGs that you started off with in season 1, which show would you want to be a part of? And she said without thinking, the OGs. And her answer was, it was real. She said that was as real as it could get. And she also said, the newer set of women, they just felt like they have to be this way in order to get the peach or to keep their peach. And that's the difference.
Right. Well, you're going to bring back Portia. And so, I forgot who else you just mentioned you were going to bring back. NENE, yes, of course. So, who would you like to get rid of to make room for these two lovely ladies?
Listen, I don't know them well, and this isn't me shading anybody because I don't know them like that, but I would get rid of Drew and Sonya to make room. 100%.
You do like your OGs.
I love my OG.
Do y'all think that's true to you? Would you get rid of Drew and Sonya? Kind of liking Drew a lot better this season. I'm liking Sonya. At first I wasn't really caring for her. I feel like Drew's marriage to Ralph, it just seems fake and contrived. And honey, she could kind of go at this point. I guess they could bring Portia back. I'm cool if Portia is on the show or not, because I don't really care for her character no more. But I will say Portia is good for the show. She's fun, funny. She be in a good mood. Okay, we need that. We don't need to be around no fake happy bitch. And y'all know who I'm talking about. I would love if Mrs. Leakes would come back, but I don't think, NENE would come back. And see, I'm kind of in a weird position because I kind of don't want NENE back. I don't want her to, be stressed out by this damn show, honey. I feel like her time on the show was iconic. I just want NENE to have like something else, like her own something else, honey. Okay?
But I'm also a businessman. My audience loves the OGs. I think the fans want to see the OGs. I think there's more to Portia we haven't seen yet. And I want to see NENE's new life. You know, rest in peace, Greg Lees, who, of course, was like a father figure to me for 14 years. She obviously is dating and has a new lease on life. I want to see that, and I want to see how the other women feel about that. You know, like, I don't know. I want to see more of that.
Do you think, because I sit here all day, and I mean, really, what do I know? Put my law degree aside. I always say, guys, you're never going to win against a network. It's never going to happen. It's like you're wasting your time. You know, so do you think NENE, you know, just not taking anything away from her claims of like discrimination and all those things against Bravo, but just like, do you think like NENE can, not even with Bravo, but like Ryan Murphy, and like once you are out there of like lawsuit claims, like has NENE gone too far, or does that go too far? Can NENE come back in this entertainment world?
Yeah, no, good question. I think there's a conversation that needs to be had between NENE and Andy. Andy said recently that after Greg passed, he did reach out to NENE and the two exchanged pleasantries. He did not want to go into further detail because he said that he didn't want to say anything that may not be what she wants to talk about. So to me, that shows that the door is cracked open a little bit. And on the record, I told NENE, I think at the end of the day, she and Andy should have a personal one-on-one conversation so that he can hear out of her own mouth, one-on-one, how she feels. And I said, I can promise you, if he hears you and you hear from him, because I know those two very well. And when I say to you, David, they loved each other so much, like so much. And I know for a fact how much NENE loved Andy. She would talk about him all the time to me, how much she adored him. And he knows that because I said it to him. I believe that once those two have a one-on-one conversation, that all will be right in the world. Wow. Because the stuff that she says to me, I'm like, talk to him. Like, I think it's like, just have a conversation. But no, when I said to you, David, I think it's so fixable. I really do.
You're like, listen, I'm working on the new podcast, Love and Marriage. Why are you telling me all of this? Like, I'm not Andy. Like, pick up the phone and call him.
All right, you guys, that is all honey Miss Robinson got to say about that. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this here video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.